Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us. We'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, Hugh, and I'm Lafayette. It is Friday. It's a new episode, and I was told the website's up.
Website is up and running. Absolutely.
And is it just Nerds Talking, the podcast? What is it Nerds Talking Podcast? Is it nerdstalking.com?
Nerdstalkingthepodcast.com.
Nerdstalkingthepodcast.com. There you go. We checked it out. It's pretty cool. Showed you the top 5 episodes, and not too much information at the moment, but it's coming. It's coming. So we're going to start off with a little bit of current events. Spotify, basically. Our host, or I should say one of our homes, Spotify. All I know is nobody better come out and be like, if you don't take them off, I'm taking my music off. Because that's what Joe Rogan's run into. Neil Young and Joni Mitchell have both had their music taken off to, go to make a statement against Joe Rogan and his misinformation. How many of you guys actually listen to Joe Rogan, even before Spotify or even now? Any of you guys?
I do.
No.
So, Johnny, you're a regular listener to Joe Rogan?
No. I mean, his podcasts are a couple hours each.
They are.
If it's someone that he really wants to talk to, I mean, it could be forever. So
Yeah.
But I've listened to him. I like him. I mean, I've heard episodes where he talks about Corona and stuff like that, and at no time is it ever. I don't know. I feel like all the controversy comes from when they take little blurbs out here and there, and things are taken out of context. I mean, he seems to do his research. He talks to doctors and all that. But Neil Young doesn't want to be on Spotify. He's like, it's you or me, and they were like, bye, Neil.
Yeah. Hugh, what's your take?
I don't know that Joe always does his research, and that's the problem. I think sometimes, it's been proven that he's had guests on there, and he was saying things, and he's absolutely wrong. Like more recently, he had a guest on, and the guy said, "Well, that's wrong. That's not correct. It's the other way around." And he said, "No," and then he goes on, he looks, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, you're right. I was wrong." But it's usually later, and it's rare that he does that. So, in terms of censoring him, I don't necessarily agree with that. But and I'm amazed that Neil Young did it, because 60% of his stream is through Spotify, and his record company backed him. That's got to be a significant piece of change.
That's a good one.
Yeah, whatever it is. But
he's on
I don't know.
Same record label as the Apostles. Carlos, what is your take on the whole Spotify trying to kick us off, and good old Brandy saying either it's me or Nerds Talking?
Joe Rogan, he's kind of set in his ways. If he has an opinion or a thought, then he's right and you're wrong unless you prove him wrong, even if he's wrong from the beginning. So, it's kind of silly. Who here listens to Neil Young?
I don't think Hugh listens to Neil Young.
No, there's a couple songs I like, but in general,
7
no.
artists have decided to get their stuff off of Spotify. But they're all in their 60s or 70s. They're still, if no current artists have been like, yeah, we're getting out of here. If something like that would have happened, Joe apparently has already apologized for whatever information, and he said he would check his facts or something like that. And Spotify said they'd put a warning before his shows. But and Spotify, they're not dumb. They paid this guy $100 million for his podcast, exclusively. So they're not going to be like, all right, well, you can go and our money goes with you. 'Cause I'm sure there's something in the contract that says, if he gets cut off early, I'm sure he gets half the money at least, I'm guessing.
Let's be honest. Spotify, maybe 2% of all subscribers listen to Neil Young. Maybe.
I don't think it's
man.
that much.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much.
Exactly. And to be honest, maybe 10 to 20% listen to Joe Rogan. Maybe it's not as much as people think it is, you know.
Right.
But Joe Rogan is he's, as they say, part of the zeitgeist of today's culture. You know what I mean? He's everywhere. He's in the news. He's, as Johnny said, all the clips you see on YouTube that he even puts out are just what he sees that as him either making a point of some kind, like a counterculture point, I guess you could call it, or just the highlights of the show. And then people take that and go, see what he said? Oh my God, I don't listen, but if I did, I'd be upset. Like, and that's the problem. You know, most people that are trying to protest this don't ever listen to Joe Rogan. I used to listen to his podcast when it wasn't on Spotify. I just don't listen to Spotify very much. And most of his content has nothing to do with, well, I would say before COVID had nothing to do with it. I think the problem with his show is that he harps on it too much. He wants to constantly talk about it over and over. And it's mainly because, you know, things change 24/7 about COVID, right? Oh, you know what? You don't have to wear a mask now. See, I told you guys. You know what? That vaccine doesn't work like we thought. I told you guys. Like, and then he wants to harp on it for a whole week with 7 different doctors that he can agree with. And everybody's like, you could look at that stuff he's spreading. Well, you know, I guess when it's your show, you can bring on who you want to agree with you as well. But he also tries to bring on controversial people all the time. So if one person says, well, it is true that if, you know, you lick a bear's ass, you'll be cured of COVID, he'll get that person on the show the next day and be like, hey, prove it. You know, so, you know, he's the hot topic. He's also like the show to go on to, in a sense. If you're popular or you're in the news, you go on a Joe Rogan, right? So
Shockingly, it's less than you think. It's 5%.
that listen to Joe
his-
Rogan. No, yeah,
Yeah.
well, because you have to take in consideration how many people are subscribed to Spotify. He's only 5%
of
the
Spotify.
subscribers. Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
now he's only stuck to Spotify, meaning if you don't use Spotify, you're never going to listen to Joe Rogan. And that's what I think is crazy about Neil Young. You know, take my music down. Like, really, for 5% of the audience that listens to Joe Rogan?
Right.
But that's just it. His 5% spreads everywhere. He's put in the news for his crazy talk or this, that, and this. And
I will say this. I do like that he responded. And I mean, that's more than you could say for other podcasts where similar complaints might have been brought up and they were like, you know, just fuck off. You know, I do like the fact that he responded and said, I'll try harder.
yeah,
So,
but
I
don't
mean,
you think he responded because Spotify said, hey, buddy, we do
No.
pay $100 million. Can you just say something so people will shut the hell up? Okay, sure.
But he seems semi-reasonable, Joe.
Oh, no. I believe his apology. I'm just saying, you know, for a fact, somebody at Spotify, or if he has a manager, not sure if he does, told him, hey, just say something. Just shut these people up.
I don't think he comes across that way as far as being pressured into apologizing or whatever. Yeah, I don't think he would have done it unless he wanted to. I mean, I'm a fan of
I
Joe
agree.
Rogan. I'm a you know, I'm into UFC and like it when he commentates. That's when I first started listening, because he would always get UFC fighters on there. I feel like what you were saying about how he harps on and about a certain topic, about maybe a point of view of COVID. I wouldn't say that he necessarily harps on to it, you know, because if you listen for a week and listen to the guests are going to ask him questions too. And they're going to be like, hey, what do you think of COVID? And he's just going to repeat what he said the last time. It's not necessarily like he's bringing it up. He always has guests. It's not just him, you know.
Well, but see, don't you think his guests ask him what do you think of COVID because they know he talks about it? So what do you think about COVID this week? Well, this week is a little bit different.
Well, it depends. Like, it depends on the kind of guests that he has on.
I
Right?
mean, even when he had Dave Chappelle on recently, it came up. It was a topic that he wanted to talk about. And it was like, man, you constantly have to bring this stuff up. But then again, it doesn't matter, you know.
So if Dave Chappelle asks him a question about COVID, he should say, nah, I already covered that, Dave. Listen to my other podcast.
Actually, yeah, he should. Yeah.
Shut your ass
He
up.
should say that. He should say, yeah, I actually talked about that 5 days in a row already, Dave. Again? Sure. Ivermectin.
You sound like Marie. We already talked about that shit.
Oh, that was spot on. I thought she was
Where's
here.
Mar-
I totally
Where
thought
is she to
was here.
defend herself?
I don't find it a problem. I think people saying I'm not gonna, like, people all over Twitter boycott Spotify. These people are stupid. just don't listen to the show, and you probably don't even listen to the show.
You probably don't listen at all.
So what are you bitching about? Like misinformation, that shit is everywhere. Like that shit is it's on CNN. Like,
Yeah.
like what are you bitching about, man? And then
No, it's-
CNN will make a whole show about it. About Don Lemon will spend an hour about Joe Rogan's misinformation.
Do you remember? I think it was CNN. I'm like 90% sure that it was during like the George Floyd riots or whatever, and then the caption was like, "Oh, mostly peaceful protests here in Minnesota," and there was like fire and
Behind
cars
the guy.
burning. Yeah,
I remember that because I remember the guy even saying it as he was there.
yeah.
It's been mostly
Yeah,
peaceful,
well,
except
not
for the
really.
fire behind me.
Kind of loud, a
Yeah.
little bit, a
I mean,
little
there's been
warm.
3
this-
deaths, but those 3 people, they deserved it. Right back to you, Anderson.
You
It's
know
like
what
a
was-
South Park episode.
You know what was funny was I was curious how quickly they would delete his music, and I actually had one of Neil Young's songs on my Spotify of
They
many.
deleted it right away.
Oh, it started to play like 2
Oh.
seconds. Oh,
You know what would have been funny though? When you play it, it goes for 5 seconds, and it's the latest Joe Rogan episode. Yeah. I just again, it's stupid. And people are saying also, oh, look at that for First Amendment. They're trying to take away Joe's First Amendment. I'm like, man, that's not how the First Amendment works, man. The First Amendment is against the government. Like you have freedom of speech, they can't shut you down.
Right.
You know, Spotify could shut your ass down if they want to. Like,
right.
But anyway,
private business.
that's just people trying to make it something else that it really isn't. It just isn't about that. It's really not about anything. It's just people bitching on social media about YouTube clips, and then they show up on the news again, primarily CNN, about Joe Rogan had a guest on your show. It was all lies. It was not true. Yeah, those 5% listening. Oh my God, you better save their souls. Calm down. I don't know. It's wild. But I mean, we'll be next. I just know it. Someone's gonna protest us.
I'd like that. I'd like that.
Or you would like to be protested?
Yeah, just because then that'll make us go.
That is true.
Bigger,
We'll get
bigger.
like even more. People are like, well, I want to listen to that podcast now.
What are they protesting about?
Yeah.
Bigger.
And they listen to an old podcast and it's Marie going wacky. And they're like, yeah, I'm good with this.
Wasn't
I
that a
see
t-
why they don't want to listen to it.
Wasn't that Marie Gone Wild, kind of like the subshoot of Girls Gone Wild?
You know, Carlos, what's your final take here? Good answer, Johnny. I mean, if you could see it visually, he just kind of did the shoulder shrug, and because
No.
you know,
Joe,
Johnny's
Joe,
better.
I mean, he does, like I said, he'll misrepresent things knowing that they're wrong, but you have to come on and prove that they're wrong. Like even when he, instead of taking the vaccine, he took some sort of horse tranquilizer, isn't that right?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
See, but
Ivermectin.
It's not a horse tranquilizer. It's a pill.
It's a
And
horse
they do-
dewormer,
well,
is
but
what
they
it
make
is.
Oh, horse
they do make
dewormer.
They do make it in human form.
yeah,
But that's what it is. It's
but then like there are plenty of medicines that they use for animals as well, like penicillin they use for horses as well.
yes.
And so you're not going to say, oh, I took some horse medicine today. You took penicillin. It's like,
I mean, the reason why it's called they call it horse medicine because it was made primarily for horses
initially
Yes,
maybe, but
initially. So
but
that's why
yeah,
people
it's approved for humans. It was prescribed
Yeah,
by
it's
a
approved for
doctor.
Has it been proven to be
no,
It
zero.
has
doesn't
not.
work at
It
all.
is-
It doesn't
It
work.
has
at
been
all.
proven to be effective for humans as a dewormer.
Yeah, it
or
doesn't
something
work
to deal with-
whatsoever, Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
What
it's,
it is,
it has
it's-
not been proven.
It's in
no.
theory that the theory is that it attacks-
Antiviral.
It's
Yeah.
antiviral, but it's not actually. But it sounds good in theory, so you'll take it.
I got the vaccine. It sounds really good in theory, but
Yeah. Oh,
people are
here.
falling apart.
There's
Oh, we're
hardly
getting
any-
canceled. We're getting
You're right,
canceled.
Johnny. There's hardly any proof of that at all.
Anyone. There you go. I mean, like I said, it's not a. It's also one of those things that'll go away in a week.
Yeah, but Joe's no dummy either. I mean, he knows the people he brings on to say this stupid stuff. He's just gonna do what happened.
No, that's what
All
I'm saying.
press is good press.
Yes.
He books
So-
his own guests. That's what I'm saying. Like, if something happens in the news, that guy will be on his show the next day. So he's smart, right? Why wouldn't you want that? It's like
Controversy isn't bad.
No, absolutely not.
Exactly. So I
So
mean,
my final thought is, I don't care. Let's move on.
if we could get those guests on our show, we'd get them too.
Hell yes.
You know?
Yeah, we can't even
So-
get Marie on our show.
No, that's a good thing.
We'll get Julius back on.
Oh crap. He knows
Tell
about
us all
COVID though.
about
Remember,
it.
he told us he knows about COVID and the vaccine and everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
You want some misinformation? Bring that guy on. That's some wacky shit. Oh man, it's just it's like I told my buddy, if someone like Eminem came out and said, "Hey, take all my music down," then Spotify would be like, "Oh shit, okay, wait a second."
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. If somebody relevant said it.
relevant. But if somebody came out, I don't know, name somebody from the 60s, just top your head if you can. I don't know.
Frankie
Musician?
Valli.
Yeah, there you go. Frankie Valli. That's a good one. He had a lot of hit songs. Shit, he has the song that's one of the biggest hits there is now. Begging is his song. That been remade 20 times. You know, hey, take my music down. No one would care. Okay, cool. Thanks, Frank.
If
I want to see some artists come
Smash
up.
Mouth come out.
Oh, now
my-
that's
yeah.
down.
Yeah, take my shit down. They're like, we
It's
don't- we
already
don't
done,
have it.
dude. We
Yeah.
already took
I
it down
think he
last year.
retired.
That's like
think I saw
Nickelback.
that.
He retired.
Well, he did. He retired.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
saw-
he's
you see
sick.
why-
He's
Did you see
sick.
why he retired? He had a show about 3 months ago at a beer festival that he started doing the Nazi salute and saying some crazy white power shit on stage, and he was shit faced. And he didn't know any of the words to the songs. The crowd was singing All Star for him. He didn't know anything. And the next day he said, "I'm so embarrassed by that. I'm retiring. Like that's it. I'm donezo."
Shit, I can think of a song of
You
his
can
right off
see
the
it
top
too.
of my
You can
head.
see the footage online. It's crazy. You know, Joe Rogan wins. You know what I mean? He's 2-0 right now against Joni and Neil. And what song does Joni Mitchell perform? I can't. Doesn't come. I know she was fairly popular, but nothing comes to me. So
Yeah, she was relevant about 40 years ago.
yeah, about 40 years ago.
Aren't they like
Exactly.
sad songs too? Like,
I think
it
Joni
was-
Mitchell does those type. Yeah, I think. Long story short, good job, Joe. You got him. You're 5%. Home strong, baby. Home strong.
Now, I think it's 100 million.
Hey, we're also yeah, of course. We're also Spotify people. If you want more misinformation, come here.
We're not protesting, Joe. We're not.
Come here. I got you. Coming.
Yeah, there will be no ultimatums from nerds talking.
Yeah, exactly. We will not apologize for
We'll,
anything.
we'll,
we say.
we'll change the name to Nerds Shutting the Fuck Up. If they threaten us.
What do you think about that, nerds? Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. Well, Spotify all of a sudden, hey, they ring us up. They call Carlos. Say, this is so-and-so from Spotify. What's up? There's 2 guys out here protesting. Nerds talking. What? Yeah. There's 2 of them. Wait for me.
Wait a second. Is that Johnny and Hugh? Tell me
Gather
about
their
home.
information.
They said they were meeting at 4. God damn it.
I'm late.
Hey.
We can just have our own protests. That's fantastic. Good idea. Good idea. We pass out
That's a
t-shirts.
great idea.
That
Just
say,
trying to generate views. Come on now.
we'll press out t-shirts that say Nurse Talking JFK Jr. 2024. Yeah. Just to keep it going. All right, we'll take a break here on Nurse Talking the podcast. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Josh,
I'm Jay.
and we host the Imperial Schools of Honor podcast, where once a month we flip through an early issue of Nintendo Power, Sega Visions, or GamePro, and then analyze, touch on, and bullshit about whatever we find interesting.
At the end of which, we pick a game from the mag to focus on. 2 weeks later, we record a chat about the game and decide whether it is deserving of King Loric's blessing,
Do our best to infuse some comedy in there.
while still aiming to be informative.
So if that sounds like something you're into, listen in on whatever platform you do your potting on.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the podcast. Here with Carlos, Johnny, Hugh. I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, download, review, turn on notifications, especially on Spotify. That's where we're at. We're everywhere. But we're trying to take over. 5%. That's nothing. We have 95% to play with, kids. Woo! Let's get them.
Wait, I just looked. We're up to half of 1%.
Half of 1%. Beauty.
Oh shit, we're the Sheba of Spotify.
Yeah. Woo! Moving up. You know what they say? When you're at the bottom, only way to
Don't wanna
go.
but up.
Only way to go. A little further down. Like, how'd you guys do that? I don't know. Man, so we have a movie review this week. It's actually a movie from 25 years ago. A movie that Hugh has brought up, I would say, a couple episodes. It's his favorite movie, his number 1 of all time. So Carlos has seen this movie years ago.
I saw it. I saw it 3 months ago.
Wait, your first time was 3 months ago?
Yeah, I've never seen it till 3 months ago.
Because I recommended it. I said,
Yeah,
watch
he
this.
recommended it.
Johnny and myself saw it just yesterday. Hugh
It's
saw it.
fresh on the mind.
Hugh just knows it, back, front, everything. It's called The Game, starring Michael Douglas and
Sean Penn.
That's right, a young Sean Penn at that.
Young, good-looking Sean Penn.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He wasn't quite wacky then.
I didn't believe them as brothers, though. They didn't quite look right as brothers, but okay.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but he's supposed to be the much younger brother. So, but Hugh, before we get into it, tell us why it's your favorite movie. Give us a rating, and just give us a little short review.
Yeah, I want a quick synopsis.
Yeah, and a quick synopsis.
Rating out of what? Out of 5?
1 through 5. Give us a
One
short
out of one.
review.
Out of 1.
And give people like Johnny said, a quick synopsis of the movie.
So the synopsis of the movie is Michael Douglas plays a wealthy business guy who doesn't really care about anybody else. And he's given a present by his brother, played by Sean Penn. The present is to participate in a game. And he takes it with a grain of salt, like, sure, yeah, if I get time, I'll try to do that. And he decides, you know what, I'll participate in this present. And just to make the synopsis short, the reason why I love the movie is that it's about letting go of control, which for me personally is a big thing. Like I try to control things and I realize there's so little that I have control of in my life. And this is about letting go of control, because that is the entire theme of the game that he enters, is about realizing you have control over nothing. And by the end of the movie, and I don't want to give away much, but at the end of the movie, because of his relationship with his father who committed suicide, he feels like he might have that same genetic trait in him. And by the end of the movie, because of participating in this game, he decides to do something, and it doesn't turn out quite the same way. Really, for me, that's what it was about. I've talked to other people about the end of the movie, for example, and they've said I would have been pissed. And my reaction is very similar to Michael Douglas's. I would have been emotionally wrecked, like that was the best thing that ever happened.
You can go ahead and spoil the movie. I mean, it's 25 years old.
Yeah, they haven't seen it.
All right. Well, so at the end of the movie, he tries to commit suicide because he thinks he's just shot his brother. And it has to do with all the little things that happen along the way with the game. You know, he's lost everything. He thinks everything, his money, his giant mansion. He feels like he has control over nothing. He thinks he's figured out why it all happened because of some elaborate plot against him that involved all these actors playing different roles and different things he had no control over. By the end, he's stormed the castle, so to speak, and he's I want answers, and he ends up on the rooftop of the building where all of this happened. People are knocking at the door like, you can't be here with the gun in your hand, and the door bursts open and he shoots, and it's his brother. He's killed his brother, he thinks, and he can't live with that, and he thinks he commits suicide. He jumps off the building like his dad, and he ends up in breakaway glass on a giant air-filled bag that breaks his fall. And that is the whole purpose of what the game is to letting go of control and stepping outside your comfort. Sorry, was that too long?
No. And what is your review? 1 through 5.
4.5, only because I can't think of anything that's perfect.
4.5. Okay. Carlos, you're up. The Game reviewed. We got a 4.5 on the board.
Rating. So are we doing rating first, and then we're going to discuss this movie?
No, you could do
And my
review
rating
first,
is,
and then a rating.
I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay, what's your review on the movie? I thought we were all going to give the rating and then we discuss it. Okay, Johnny, give me your rating.
Well, let's go ahead and discuss it first, because I don't like listening to you and your direction. It wasn't terrible. I for a 25-year-old movie, I'm just glad I didn't see it in the theater. I'm a fan of movies where you like get to know the main character, you get to like him or whatever. He was just kind of a dickhead throughout the whole thing, and at the very last minute, he might not be a dickhead anymore. Who knows? Artistically, it was pretty well shot for the day. But then just the few things that I had about the movie, like, so for the game, they drugged him, they shot at him, they shipped him to Mexico, and what if he didn't? There were just some holes. I know. Overall, maybe a 2.
Yeah, I know where you're going, because like Hugh said, he would have acted the same way if he was in his shoes when he landed on that airbag, and he would have been super excited, still be alive. This guy clearly has issues. When he jumped off, he clearly tried to kill himself So at the party, somebody should have been like, "Hey man, you want to talk? You just try to kill yourself. You just jumped off a goddamn building. What if you would have jumped off the wrong side and landed in the streets?
Oh, yeah.
What if
Those are the
after
holes.
being
They had that
chased-
covered, man. The CRS or whoever
Yeah,
they are.
yeah.
They had everything covered.
He did.
Except
But
for
they
the
did.
very end, like how he tries to pick up that waitress. I'd be like, no, we're not gonna go out. You just tried to fucking kill yourself. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you might try to take me with
I
you.
don't trust your ass.
Like, I mean,
No, she didn't say that. She said, my flight doesn't leave for another 2 hours. I got time for coffee.
Yeah, she wants coffee, but that's what I
Listen,
would say. Any normal
um,
person after seeing what this guy went through would say, hell no.
And he got
Um,
shot at as well. So what if one of those bullets would have hit him? What if it would have ricocheted off something and hit him?
no.
And he ended up in surgery. Then he ended up in recovering in ICU, and all these people are around him. Hey, it's just a game. And he's supposed to react the same way.
See,
Oh,
no.
You
man,
gotta,
I'm such a
you
better
gotta
person
suspend
now.
belief a little bit.
You got
have
that
to
wrong. You got that wrong. She told him, but we're shot at the house. Those were blanks. It was all movie magic. Those weren't real bullets. And I said, bitch, that shit
Bullshit.
was
See the
real.
holes they put
You
in the glass?
cannot fake 100 shots inside the house and holes everywhere. Anyway, the movie is a
What
one
if
out
he
of
would have
5.
died in Mexico? The game would
You
have
have
ended,
to, but
nobody
you
would
have
know
to
it.
suspend belief.
It might
Okay.
be one of the dumbest movies I have ever seen. Okay.
All right. So
I'm not gonna lie. It's a horrible movie. Okay. When he first, like, the game starts because she spills the drink and she gets fired and the note says, "Don't let her get away." I would have just crumbled that shit up. Boom, game over. Like, going home. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't like, I'm not gonna. And then that guy faked his heart attack, so I'm gonna. The whole thing was just stupid as hell. There's not. First of all, how are they gonna predict every move he made? Like, every move he made, you cannot. They knew he was gonna come with a gun, so they planned that. They knew he was gonna jump off that side of the building. They planned that. They knew everything. They knew that his brother's gonna get shot because he had a fake blood in it. I'm like, no, this is stupid. None of this is good. This is a movie that leads nowhere. Just a man at the end that I'd be so pissed off at that fucking. I would have fucking said, give me a real fucking gun. I'm shooting every one of you motherfuckers. There's no redemption here. He's gonna be more of an asshole now than he was before. Like, think
Hey,
about that.
I was gonna wait, but I gotta respond.
He's not gonna learn from any of that. He's not gonna go, oh my God, I have a second chance in life. No, he's gonna tell his brother, fuck you, fuck this party.
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Completely disagree
My
with
life
you.
was just fine.
I completely
wasn't-
disagree with you.
Did he look depressed in life? No. He looked like he was okay with everything.
No,
was
he did not look
yes,
happy in
he
life.
did.
No, he
looked
did not.
You think what happened to him is gonna make him happy?
No, I think the process makes him reevaluate what his life was. The process. Do I think he looks happy? No. What are you doing?
I got to agree though, because I mean, I didn't really see there's anything wrong with his life. He didn't get along with his brother. That's the only thing you really saw, because he was a jerk to his
He's-
brother. But
He was a
everything
jerk
else,
to everyone. He was just
But
an
Right,
asshole.
but-
when his
but
brother
people
comes,
aren't
when his brother
naturally a
comes-
jerk.
When his brother comes to have lunch with him, he wasn't even a jerk to his brother. He was just like, "Oh, you're clean now. You look good. You look sober."
Yeah, but there was nothing between them, no relationship.
We don't know that. I don't know that.
exactly.
No,
So
I
at
do.
the
You
end,
do
when he
know it just
shoots-
from the way they were together.
So
well,
here's the
right.
thing.
So at the end, when he shoots him, why is he so mad about it? Like, he just
didn't-
got rid of.
he
a
didn't know he
burden.
was
just got rid
shooting
of
him.
someone who
no,
came.
it's
bother
not
him.
even that.
He didn't know that.
When they meet for lunch, he even tells him, like, "You look good." Da, 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 almost, and then he says something to the effect of, "Hey, we should do this more often." Yeah, okay. Like, just let me know. I mean, I'm busy, but you let me know. Like, I made time to meet you today. Let me know. And it's almost like, you know what? I'm available. Sure.
Yeah, and
Like-
he was blowing off like legitimate like business meetings too, minutes before that. Like,
Yeah. Remember,
Oh.
because see more butts.
yeah.
And
Which,
he did. He blew off his
which-
business meetings to meet
I know
Seymour
this
Butts.
movie was in '97, but in the 2000s, Seymour Butts had a different career. And, had a lot of
Let's get
movies.
meetings for that too.
Yeah,
That tattoo was the best.
those
What?
Seymour Butts movies, I would give all those 5 out of 5.
No, I'm just telling you, this movie was so disappointing because Hugh told me several times on this show that it's his favorite, it's the best. It's like, oh my God.
One of my best. Yes.
And all I got out of it was, to be honest, it should have just been me jumping off that building. 'Cause that's how aggravated I was at the end of this movie. Like, this is a piece of shit.
And it's Chicago, right? It's the Windy City. Any breeze could have taken his ass into the harbor, right? He fell
true.
perfectly
It's
right
true.
onto the balloon.
Oh, that's
That whole-
just it too. When he was in the back of that car and it went into the harbor.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
Like,
that-
trying
I
to
actually
kill
agree
this
with that.
guy.
That's pretty
agree with that.
fucking dangerous. Like, I don't care like how much
Well, you thought
control
that
you
part
have
was
over
dangerous.
No, I agree
Not
with
getting
that.
drugged, shot at.
No, the most dangerous part was Mexico for sure.
Yeah, what he could have got killed in Mexico.
Well,
mean,
no,
what do
the,
you
the
mean basically when he
diarrhea.
was-
The
you mean
diarrhea.
We had to
basically
watch.
No, basically when he was buried alive in that coffin or whatever. Everything.
Right.
Everything. And Hugh acts like he learned his lesson. Like, what? He learned his
It-
lesson.
No, I didn't
it's-
say that. I
I'm
said
with
that
you,
it's a
man.
cathartic moment in your life.
with bullets when I got off that airbag. Someone's
Come
gonna
on.
really die.
I don't
Can you
believe-
not? Can you not see letting go of control a little bit of your life?
Absolutely.
That's the theme
not.
of it. Entirely the theme of it.
The thing is,
Maybe for that 1 second when you're at the party, maybe for that one night. But when you wake up the next day and you realize all the shit that happened to you, like the harbor thing, the Mexico thing, jumping off the building thing, getting shot at, supposedly with blank bullets, but the blank bullets clearly sprayed that apartment, getting drugged. Oh man, the next day I got a hit list of everybody I'm taking out.
Let me respond to that. Do you not reevaluate what matters in your
No.
life?
Yeah, what matters
No.
is killing
What
all
matters
these
is-
fools.
No.
that try to kill me.
No,
What
that's
matters
not what
is
matters.
not the money that
That's what-
everything
no, what-
that.
what
No, it
matters
doesn't.
is- no, it
The
doesn't
big
matter,
mansion
right?
and the money that doesn't matter. It's relationships.
So basically his brother.
Well, the girl too, for example.
The girl doesn't matter. I'll be honest. The
But
girl
I'm not
doesn't-
saying they're going to turn out to something. But it's not somebody he even would have looked at once.
I
And
feel
now he's like by the end of the movie, he's like, you know what? What have I been doing all my life? All I've been valuing is money and buying companies and eating this company and eating that company.
See, I
and-
didn't get that out of the end. At the end, I
What
just got
the-
it. At the end, I just first of all, he was running around shaking hands and was congratulating him. Good job on passing the game. And he was like shaking hands. And I'm like, it's not a time for that. And then when he went out there, hey, where you going? He was just intrigued by her because that's who he was more or less running around with for the game.
No, I just think he was always interested in her,
Let's
but he
be
would
honest.
never allow himself to even think like that in his old life.
You know, he woke up the next day in his mansion, went back to work in his suit, and was like, thank God I got all this shit back.
100%.
You know, he
100%.
And you know, his brother
I don't
calls
know.
him, hey, this is
I
see
don't
more butts. Go fuck yourself. See more butts. No more lunch. No more nothing. You basically tried to kill me numerous times over. You even made me commit suicide.
I love
And
the I love
know,
the bits with the anchor
he
on
needs-
TV,
yeah,
like
he
you're
needs
looking
therapy.
at me, aren't you?
I mean, we got
With
a
the
4.5.
clown.
We got a 2. Johnny gave it a what?
Come on,
So,
Johnny, step up. You're thinking about it. I know you are.
So we
No,
give it a
I want to
9.
take some points away.
No, Johnny.
Look at
After
like
hearing all this stuff.
we've all seen Pretty Woman, right?
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah.
So Richard Gere is like a
He's that character.
ruthless businessman.
Yeah, he's that
guy.
character.
Yeah.
And then, he's taking businesses apart, making money for himself. He's just an asshole.
right.
At the end of the movie, he's a good guy. He's like, I'm going to take this business. We're going to grow together. We're going to build it and this and that. I don't see Michael Douglas doing that on Monday.
No.
I feel like on Monday,
Well, do you see him getting a hooker though? I do. That part I see.
Michael Douglas,
Yeah, that I see.
100%.
He's definitely getting a hooker. And then
Well,
he's
isn't
in a-
Basic Instinct the
uh,
sequel?
to the game?
So can I tell you one thing at the
So
end?
Disappointing.
The
Michael
credits were the
Douglas, I
best
saw him on
part.
a carpet. I told him I loved the movie, and he was like, "Yeah, it was fine." Like, oh, you ass.
He hates it too.
He doesn't hate it. He saw it as a gig.
No, you know he watched it at the premiere and he's like, "What a piece of shit! It makes no sense. It leads to nothing. It teaches no message."
Even Sean Penn's acting was horrible. It was just it's not good. It's not good.
Oh, I just
thought he
remember
tried-
the gig.
I thought he just tried to play a guy that just got clean and I don't know. Again, he's
No,
not in
just the
movies that
chemistry
much.
between them just didn't really work.
No, it doesn't
especially
work.
Huh?
No, doesn't work. No.
Yeah, and like especially when they were arguing in the streets when he jumped out of his car, I'm like, all right, dude, you can go. Bye. I wouldn't have chased him down those stairs and whatever. I'm like, peace.
There's no words for the movie. I mean,
Well, fine.
it's just-
You're not going to
was-
change Hugh's mind, and I applaud you for that, Hugh.
No, it was just such a disappointment.
It's your favorite. I'm sorry we're shitting on it, but it was fucking terrible.
I will say this. I will say this, my friends, it just struck a chord with me. That's all. Struck a chord with me.
I mean, I get the control thing, but Johnny had a great point. That's what Pretty Woman's about too. A guy that doesn't want to ever give up control.
And that's a good movie too.
It's a much better movie.
And he had
just
a
took
lot
a really
of
good looking, hooker to flip him.
Not even that. It took somebody with the opposite personality of his to realize he needs to lighten up a little bit. Not getting shot at, drugged in Mexico in a coffin. And has to sell a watch for $18 to buy tacos.
Right. That's
And the next day,
I mean, that's pretty extreme. I get it.
He's gonna have to fix the window on his door. He's gonna have to repaint the whole goddamn place and refurnish it. Man, this man's
he's wealthy, dude. He can afford it. He's wealthy.
But that's just it. But that's just it. He's gonna wake up probably twice the horrible human he was the day before. After
I don't
he
think
realizes
so.
all this stuff that happened.
Not even that.
I don't think so.
How about the
I think
end?
he learned something.
How about the end?
Yeah,
when
he learned his brother's an asshole. He needs to really shoot him.
No, the end when his brother gets given the bill from CRS.
Oh, and he splits it with him.
No, and he splits it with him. You know how much that bill must be?
He must. Yeah, no, if he really would have changed,
I was thinking about that. It's had to be
he really-
huge.
I know. So if he really changed his mind and became a good guy, I'd be like, I got it. Let me pay for that.
Right, because from what I understand, his brother's not like he doesn't
broke
have
ass.
money. He's
Well, how's he going to pay for it?
They make it sound like that his brother also did this before. Like he's gone through CRS. You know,
He did.
Well, I'm sure he
He
just
did.
said he did.
No,
and
but
that's
how
why
did he
it
pay
convinced
for
him to.
I don't know. I don't know how he paid for it. I don't know what his
I
brother
think
does.
I think that's what he used to convince his brother. Oh, I did it. You should do it. It's cool. I don't really think he did it because.
Well, then how would he be aware of it? That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's
I think he did
that's-
go through it.
That's like
Maybe
some
they do
secret-
it pro bono.
That's like some secret society shit, you know.
Kind of like
Oh,
your mobile
that's-
provider. Kind
Oh,
of like your
and wait,
internet provider.
I have one
Yeah,
last
they're
question.
secret. They're definitely
Here's my
secret.
last question. Who would go through that? A version of whatever game was tailored to them.
I feel like I've
Well, here-
already gone through it.
I'm going through it right now. This fucking podcast. Look,
No, I mean,
look.
Come
Here's the
on,
thing.
no,
but
really
here's-
answer the
no,
question.
but here's the other thing about. Well, here's the other thing about it too, though. If I was him, like say I went through this, right? From that day forward, after I jumped or after the party, how do I know who was real and who was not? Because somehow they were able to place everybody fake in his life for the past 2 days. So how
Well,
would I know who
even
was
his
real and who was
ex-wife
not?
was in on it.
yeah, his ex-wife was in on it too.
Or maybe
Yeah.
They straight up matrix
You know what?
his ass.
Actually, I don't know because she didn't really seem like she was in on it. She was just there to have lunch with him, and then he noticed the actor on TV. But was she at the
No,
party?
no.
Was she
She
at
was
the
in
party?
on it.
She's at the
She was
party.
in.
she was at the party.
And then she
Yeah.
straight up congratulated him.
I feel like the best part for me is I'm inspired to
Make shitty movies.
Write your own script.
get a book and hollow it out and put a gun inside. That's
all you
what I
got out
want
of
to
it?
do. Oh, for sure. I
Now,
fucking
remember-
YouTubed it, and it's going to be a lot of work, but I think I can do it.
Remember that gun has blanks. So
Well,
It's not that hard. I've
If-
done it.
if-
I've hollowed
if you
out a
think
book
so.
before.
okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's do it.
Carlos, there
I'll
you go.
do it.
Hire him.
Don't worry about it.
yeah. So
I'll answer the question. I'd go through it in a second. One tailored to me in a second.
Well, I mean, like right now, I don't have a lot of shit.
I mean the thing
So
is
take
that's
all my
just
shit.
it.
I'm not going to learn any lessons. I'm just going to be pissed. If
No,
I
you
lost
would be.
millions,
I know you would.
I mean, think about it. Though. I
I'm
mean,
not jumping off no fucking building.
Oh,
The
no.
thing
Well,
is, how's
yeah.
it
I'll
tailored?
jump off the curb. If I twist an ankle, I'll be like, oh, I learned my lesson. Ah, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the extent of the lesson? Because his lesson, I mean, look what he went through to learn a lesson.
But
He
his
had-
game was tailored to him, though.
Okay,
That's
I'm
what I'm
trying to
saying.
tell you.
Each game would be different.
What I'm trying to tell you is who came up with the idea that, okay, we're going to drug you, shoot at you, try to drown you. We're basically going to try to kill you 5 different ways. Learn your lesson.
we're going to make a really good human being.
This
after
guy
this.
probably thinks he's invincible now.
But that's the that's
Oh,
the that's
oh,
the
for
point
sure.
is that his brother gave the information to
what information
the-
that he's
about his brother.
drowning,
Sean-
that he's shot at, drugs.
No,
Like,
no. Sean Penn said this is who my brother is,
no, I get
and
it.
they came up with a game that
Well,
suited
right,
him.
but that's what solidifies my thought even more that he's a 2 times the asshole the next day because he thinks he's invincible. Now he's going to treat everybody even worse than he did.
Yeah, so
And
not
he knows
only,
he can.
Not only can he like try and kill himself and live, he can dodge bullets. But now you got like $400 million in his bank account now. Oh yeah, for sure he's gonna be an asshole.
And not just that. I mean,
He's not fighting
Absolutely.
crime anytime soon.
Carlos had a point.
I don't
that,
No,
that
I don't know.
who's he gonna trust from here on out? That's really
exactly. I
'Cause
wouldn't
even his-
trust anybody.
because even his lawyer was in on it. He was at the party. Like who? Like everybody was here. Like everybody knew this game was.
You know what?
happening.
Who
Nobody
you
could've
know who wasn't at the
tipped him
party?
off?
The people from the Chinese restaurant. So he's still fucking racist.
Oh yeah. You know what? The
I
sad
didn't
part
see
is,
not
too?
one worker from the Chinese
The
restaurant.
sad part is nicest people to him, even though it's kind of rude to him at the same time.
Yeah, and I didn't believe that part either. I was like, hey, wait a second. Those fucking Asians would be yelling their asses off.
Hey, what you do with my headshot?
I mean, nobody
Everybody at the
tipped him
party
off.
was white, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
just about. Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
All right.
Such a
Maybe it wasn't a game. Maybe it was a clan meeting.
Wow.
I mean, I think the worst part. the
Wow,
worst
you're
part-
taking his favorite movie, and then
I mean-
you're gonna...
I mean, the worst part of everything, the fact they knew every step he was gonna do next, as if no matter what he did, they knew it already. That was the worst part to me. It's like, how would they know
Predictable.
that he?
It's predictable.
No, it's not predictable. Like, how would they know he would try to do this or that, or he would react this
Well,
way?
no, they would know he would get into a cab if his car wouldn't start. Take me to my house. Get in a cab. The cab
But how would
driver
they
goes
know
right
he
into the
went to,
water.
Didn't he go like into a cabin? Didn't he? How would they
No,
know?
he went to
was
a
it her
cabin because
or-
she said, "I have a place that will be."
Oh, she said, okay. Well,
yeah,
it's been 3
I'll
months.
be perfect, and you won't be discovered because by
Usually
then
I
he's
try to- No, it's been
paranoid out
3
of his
months
mind.
since I've seen it, and I try to forget garbage in a 3-month lapse.
All
I
right.
mean,
So-
Hugh, listen, Hugh.
Moving on.
Do you think
Moving
she?
on.
Do you
Yeah,
think
I
she
mean-
drugged him with the horse tranquilizer?
Oh, with
I
ivermectin.
think
Horse
he-
dewormer.
Ivermectin was there. I saw it.
So he's COVID proof too.
He is COVID
Yeah.
proof. He's everything proof, except for
Now
being
he was
an
gonna have
asshole.
to get the game tattoo removed from him.
Well,
He's
to be
so
honest, we didn't
disappointed.
have to even review this movie after what Douglas told him. Like,
Even he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, dude."
meh.
Hey, Michael, what'd you think? Eh.
Meh.
Then
If
I just slugged him.
I'm
just
pretty sure.
Did
if
you
I asked
see it
Tom
Fuck you,
after the
Hanks-
red?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I asked
You
Tom
know,
Hanks,
he's
hey,
never watched it. He's never watched it twice, at least. That's
Yeah.
no, he doesn't watch probably anything he does. He's
No.
totally money.
But
Money.
if I asked Tom Hanks, hey, what'd you think of Forrest Gump? Oh man, great movie. It was a blast
Different
to make.
actor.
He totally would. I believe he would. He's
Different
totally
actor.
Yeah,
Ask
yeah,
Michael Douglas, what do
absolutely.
you think about the game? Pff, don't bring that shit up. Like,
No, I don't get the feeling Michael Douglas looks at anything other than work.
I don't know. Well,
Amy.
I don't know. He hasn't worked in a while, so
No, he does. He has a
Well,
show on
Oh,
Netflix.
Ant-Man.
No, he has a show on Netflix.
oh
He's an Ant-Man. He doesn't have to work.
no, well,
No, but he has a show, an actual show.
Yeah, who
on
gives a
Netflix.
shit?
I've
He's,
never seen
he's
it.
married to Catherine Zeta-Jones. I wouldn't leave the house either. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all right.
I mean,
What?
she's not
I don't
what she
love
was
her.
20 years ago. I mean, yeah, I mean, what has she been in lately? I mean,
Okay, you put anybody 20
Oh,
years
wait,
ago.
was
Yeah,
she
of course.
in-
I
Was
think
she-
Halle
You could have
Berry
seen me
today.
20 years ago.
she was
Halle
some-
Berry today.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
she
in.
was.
Although she's a nut.
Jesus. I wouldn't know she's a
Who
nut. I don't
is?
know her.
Who?
Halle Berry.
Oh, I'll take that nut any day.
Me too. That's what
a-
I'm just
that's a
saying.
very odd.
I take Halle Berry.
But
I'll
she,
take a
she,
nut to
she
the
might be
face.
getting you will.
If that nut is Halle Berry, you damn right.
Johnny's look on his face right now. He's trying to just.
uh,
Or how about Paula Patton?
I feel like there was a better choice of words for that.
Right? Thank you. That's a very weird choice.
I
Okay,
want
let's take a
Halle
break
Berry to
here.
bust a nut.
Hey, hey, hey.
That's what I know. It's I don't
Busting a
know.
nut?
We're
Okay.
a diverse show here. We're okay. Let's chill out. We're
But
inclusive.
she's supposedly gonna get her own
Inclusive?
spin-off movie
Inclusive.
from John Wick.
I hope not. That character was horrible. That was a bad character.
Who is?
I liked her.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like
Halle
the
Berry is?
incorporation.
No, don't do that.
She
She
she wasn't great in it, but I like the incorporation of the dogs, fighting and killing, and her two dogs.
Yeah, I remember she had the dog, but that the whole thing was kind of dumb though.
Well, I got tired of all the shootings.
I mean,
Too
the
much.
third one wasn't good. Let's just the third one.
Did anybody see the UFC movie she was in?
Bruised?
Not
No,
yet.
not yet.
Heard
The
it's
one that
pretty
she
good, though.
directed, right? Didn't she direct that
I
one?
think so. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think she only does movies she directs now. She says.
Well, she won't be doing too many more movies.
I said, okay.
All right, we'll take a break here on Nurse Talking the podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, and welcome to Ominous and Unearthly Tales. I'm Katrina.
And I'm Vincenza.
And we'd like to welcome you to our little podcast.
Yes, welcome. We're just two spooky girls who love to hear and talk about tales of the paranormal, cryptid creatures, folklore, and haunted places, and just about everything else in between.
We're also interested in your stories and encounters of odd happenings as well. So join us each week as we dive in and see what we find out there in this mysterious and wonderful world that we live in.
And who knows what we'll find, but you're sure to be in for a good time.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, Hugh. I'm Lafayette. This is all just a game. Super Bowl's coming. Super Bowl is here. Not here quite yet, but next weekend you can watch Super Bowl. We got ourselves the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. Let's just do quick picks. You can't change it, even though it's still a week away. Give me your Super Bowl pick. Give me your score, and person that wins gets to host the show the week after the Super Bowl. They get to do the whole show, the topics and all. Nobody can argue it. Nobody can change it. The winner runs the show. So we'll start with Carlos. Carlos, who's the winner?
Rams 28 to 14.
28-14 Rams. Johnny, what is
We're gonna go Bengals.
Wow.
21-17.
Okay.
Close game.
Hugh, what do you got?
Bengals 28-24.
Wow, Bengals also. Interesting. I got the Rams. I got them at 24-20.
Oh, they can miss an extra point, do they?
No, they kicked
Or
two
two
field
field
goals and
goals.
scored 2 touchdowns.
I mean, I don't know. I think you guys are gonna lose that one.
All right.
They shouldn't have beat the Niners.
No.
And there was so many mistakes in that game. Everybody's blaming that last throw by Jimmy G, but that missed
let's be
interception.
That was huge.
Oof.
That was a game ender right there.
Absolutely.
Well, I
Wanna
just
say
thought the
something?
Rams D totally stepped up at the very end. I mean, at the very end, all he had to do was go down and get a field goal. Donald and the other guy, can't think of his name, just
Von Miller?
totally stepped up.
Yeah, no, you're right. The 49ers dropped the interception that could have won them the game. And that was pretty much the turning point. Jimmy G sucks anyway. He probably would have threw an interception sometime along the way, last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that last throw was a bad decision, but that's not what changed the game. What changed the game was that missed interception.
I mean, yeah, it was right in his hand. But there you go. So we got our Super Bowl picks. We got 2 Bengals. We got 2 Rams, and the winner will host the episode, and they will have to carry the load of their own topics. So there you go. All right, let's move on to. Has anybody seen the movie Luca on Disney Plus?
Yeah, I just saw it.
You just saw Luca. All right, Johnny, have you seen Luca?
I have.
And Hugh, did you see Luca?
I did not.
Ah, yes. Well, it's not quite the game, but it's a little bit better. So Luca.
Oh, I'm pained. Again, I'm pained again.
Luca is a Disney movie. I think it's a Pixar movie on Disney Plus. They skipped theaters, went straight to Disney Plus. Very good movie about 2 friends. They're not even friends really, but a boy that's what would say they're sea monsters.
Merman.
Yeah,
Mermen, I guess.
Mermen, I guess. That anytime they get out of the water, they turn into regular boys, like humans and whatever. So the thing going around the internet is that it's a movie about gay boys. What do you guys think about that? Because I thought, like, why are people saying? I mean, it's very odd. Almost like they're just friends. When you're boys, you have friends that you're close with and you do everything with. And now people are like, "Oh no, it's just the first gay Pixar movie." I didn't see it. I get what you're getting at, but I didn't see it. Do people just want something to, I don't know, to say that, hey, look, we got a movie or something? I don't know. Like, it's very odd to me because I just thought, it was a very good movie, very good cartoon about 2 good friends. No need to turn it into something that it isn't. Johnny, what's your take?
I mean, it's very similar to. I mean, I grew up watching Sesame Street. Bert and Ernie. Was it one of the creators who's confirmed, like later on down the line? Oh yeah, they're gay. And I just didn't see it. I never thought they were gay. And
Bert
then
and Ernie?
Yeah, and with this movie, I didn't see any gay vibes or anything like that. Not that I'm like against it. It's just I didn't see any. I felt like one of the boys had a kind of a romantic interest with that female, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like They're just trying to stir up a little controversy, trying to give us a topic here on Nerds Talking.
That, or again, it's trying to fit a narrative for a certain group to have something to cheer on. You know what I mean? Like, look at us, we won the fight. And there's no fight to be won, but we won the fight. Johnny, do you like fish sticks? Hold on. Hugh, do you like fish sticks? Hugh, do you like fish sticks?
Fish sticks?
Yeah, fish sticks. Fish sticks, fish sticks.
No.
You know what fish sticks are?
No.
Fish sticks you buy them at the store.
I love fish sticks.
Fish sticks, like frozen, like
yeah, fish
sticks of fish.
Yes.
Yes, I like those.
Do you like fish sticks in your?
Yes, fish sticks. I do.
Do you like fish sticks in your mouth? Do you like fish sticks in your mouth?
Shit.
All right,
yes, I do actually.
For some of the
Deep
younger
in my
folk,
mouth.
What are you, a gay fish?
It's from South Park. Cartman was going around one episode saying, "Hey,
It's a
you like
Kanye episode?
It's a Kanye West episode.
you like fish sticks? You like them in your mouth?" Classic.
So yeah, no. Again, the movie was really good. Luca,
I'm reading
watch
about
it.
this actually.
Yeah. Oh, you are reading about the whole gay thing.
Well, no, the director said there was talk of having the links be romantically linked, having the leads be romantically linked, but they decided to just focus on friendship and pre-romance.
Well, it's just one of those things where if you do watch it, there's nothing that says there's any romantic link between the boys at all.
Right.
Like zero.
Yeah, they just want to learn about the world.
Yeah, and then they're having a great time doing it.
Yeah,
that's it. And hiding from their parents. That's it. And when one boy even goes to school with the redhead, runs off with her. There you go. So,
yeah.
No,
anyway, good movie.
Well, I'm with Johnny. Like when they had mentioned, like I watched Sesame Street growing up, and when people keep trying to tell me Bert and Ernie are gay, I'm like, where do you get that from? Because they live in the same apartment. I mean, they do share the same bedroom, but they don't share the same bed, and you never see them doing anything remotely gay.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
Like when it fades to black, you don't hear nom, 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 nom. Fish
That's
dick.
a really good Cookie Monster.
Have they ever taken a bath together? Because
no,
Ernie was it? Wait, which one's Bert?
Ernie takes a bath with his
Maybe.
rubber
Ernie,
ducky.
yeah,
He
it
loves
is
the rubber
Ernie, yeah.
ducky.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
Bert
I feel like
loves the pigeons.
That's right. Bert
And
loves
bottle
the
caps.
pigeons.
Pigeons and bottle
That's
caps.
right.
That's his
That's
thing.
Right. I don't know, see, to me, they're just best friend roommates.
That's
That's it.
roommates. Like the whole Luca thing, I only saw it a couple of days ago, but I saw it after I already read all the stuff about how they're trying to, the two main characters were gay. So as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, I can see where maybe that, or I can see where maybe that. But then I also thought, because the first person that the younger kid runs into is another boy. And so this boy is teaching him the world, right? Because the boy's been living on land for a while. But then I'm thinking, well, what if it was a girl? What if the person that he met on land was another mermaid instead of a merman? So now it's a totally different. He's supposed to fall in love with this person because they're a woman, or because it's the first person he saw. Supposed to fall in love with them because it's a boy. I didn't see a falling in love. I did see like a bromance, I guess you could call it. But preteen kids, when they hang out with each other, they totally that's all they want to hang out with was their buddy, right? They want to explore things with their buddy. That's what I saw. I didn't see a homosexual attraction in any way.
I'm reading something here that one of the actors said it is a kind of love, right? There's a lot of hugging and it's physical. And my experience as a straight man certainly wasn't that. So it's interesting that he said that. Things we did talk a lot about what is the metaphor here for being a sea monster, for being different. So he's almost acknowledging that.
But all the hugging came in at the end, like when he's leaving, he's going to school, and he gives him a hug. I mean, there wasn't.
And it's also Italy. They like kiss each other on the cheek.
Exactly. They kiss
Well,
each
I'm just
other
saying what the actor
yeah.
said. That was his.
Well, right,
viewpoint
but
on it.
like Johnny said too, it's a different culture over there. The story takes place in Italy.
Right.
Totally different culture. I mean, if I go see Hugh, I'm not going to go up to him and kiss him on the cheek, right, on the left and right. But if I'm in Italy, if we grew up in Italy and we're there now, I probably would, right? Because that's how they greet each other. But if I did that to Hugh, I might get a broken nose.
No, I might like it.
All right,
He might like it.
Well, he might like it because he likes the game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's like, this is part of the game. This is
mean-
gonna change me.
That's part of the game.
We're gonna make out and
Yeah.
you're gonna kill yourself.
I'm gonna wash myself in the shower crying while listening to the crying game in the background. Burn my clothing.
Have you heard there were some issues with Ace Ventura?
Yes, I've heard that
recently.
as well. Yes.
Yeah, because of his homophobic like feelings and whatever.
Well, right, because everybody in the police force started like getting grossed out because they may have made out with a man, which was the sergeant.
Right.
But I don't see anything wrong with that. If that's not you, if you don't like doing that, then it shouldn't be okay. Just because everybody thinks it should be doesn't mean it should be. You know what I'm saying?
That
But don't
falls
get-
right back to the Joe Rogan thing. 5%. 5%. That's
Probably
all
less
who give
than
a
that.
shit.
5% gay?
Probably less than that too. I would say 2% give a shit about any of that. But the Luca thing, to me, I thought the odd part was basically telling me that 2 9-year-olds are gay, you know, and that aren't flamboyant whatsoever or don't even come off that way. One is kind of an ass and thinks he's in charge. The other one's just more of a follower, Luca. And then when Luca meets a girl, he's like, that's who I want to be my friend. The girl I want to be friends with. She seems exciting and interesting. And the other friend gets jealous. You don't need her. We're friends. Just like a friend would when they're 10 and 12 and all of a sudden your friend likes a girl and doesn't give you any more attention. Hey, why don't you want to hang out anymore? Why are you always hanging out with Sarah for? Like, oh, I like Sarah, sucker. Anyway, so
It's like the guy who owned the Vespa, the cool guy in town. All his buddies were dudes. So am I supposed to assume that he's gay because all his friends are guys?
yes.
And he's trying to be the macho guy? He's the macho of the three of them.
Well, he's riding on a Vespa. So
Well, it's Italy, so it's a Harley Davidson.
It's a Italy,
Come
so-
on, come
Also,
on.
remember Luca's
Give
uncle?
the guy a little bit of credit.
Luca's uncle that was like the see-through fish?
Oh yes. What about him?
I think he set the whole thing up. It's just a game.
for his ninth birthday.
Well, this is true because Luca jumped off that tower. Ready? He goes, gravity, and he fell, and he survived. He changed his weight.
Yep. They all knew what was going to happen. All that guy, the asshole with the Vespa, all planted. His friends planted. Everything planted. I'll never watch any movie the same after the game.
Because you have to suspend belief.
I'll just yell at the screen.
Is that the
"Fake!"
same way when I say like, oh, you gotta don't worry about this part when I talk about like Pacific Rim? All right, just it's a really good movie as long as you don't believe in monsters and big giant
That's right,
robots.
You have suspense belief. Like you
Right.
get bit by a radioactive spider. Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, first of all, I mean, the
Right.
you gotta suspend belief.
A man dresses
Right.
up as a bat. What? Come on.
Come on.
Let me think
I
about
see
it.
that every day. Every day,
Oh,
right
he
outside
dressed-
my
What
apartment.
is he? All right, we'll take one more break here. Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back after this. Hey, this is Lafayette from Nerds Talking the Podcast. Don't forget to tune in next episode when we review the movie Nightmare Alley. And what else, Johnny?
We're gonna talk about Peacemaker and Boba Fett. So get caught up. There's gonna be spoilers.
And Carlos?
I ain't got shit left because these two assholes said it all.
Well, okay then. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week.
Now back to the show. Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. Here with Carlos, Hugh, Johnny, and I'm Lafayette. Hey, Johnny, you're old. What wouldn't you do now that you're old? So maybe something you do back in the day. You're like, I think at my age, I'll never attempt this again.
Johnny is 90.
I look good though. I look goodish.
Opinions.
Yeah,
Everyone has
opinions.
Well,
Opinions. I give myself a 2.5. That's higher than the game.
Higher than the game.
And there it is again.
I mean, I've been trying to get back into skateboarding, but my body just doesn't agree with me. When I fall down, I don't get up the way that I used to. Sometimes I don't get up at all. But I still think I'm going to give it the old college try. I'm going to try again to skateboard a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, really? I mean, here's the thing. What's your definition of skateboarding? Just literally riding?
Cruising, and then
I mean, you can do that at any age, though, really.
all right, so cruising, but then like if I come up to a sidewalk or go off a sidewalk, I want to ollie off of it, or maybe I want to kick flip off of it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So you're saying I'm too old?
Too
for
old to
this.
do the real, like, For instance, I used to jump ramps on a BMX at a young age, and I used to love doing that shit. No,
Of course.
don't give me a BMX and a bike and offer me $20 to do it. It ain't gonna happen. Offer me $1,000. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. It's over. Them days is done.
I don't want to let go though.
It's no different than when we used to talk about playing football on Thanksgiving. I ain't doing it no more. I'm good. Thanks. Like, unless everybody is my age and everybody feels the same way I do, a little bit slow. Like the tackling looks really slow. I'm all in. But no, not doing that. I mean, like I said, think about stuff you did as a kid that you knew was, like you said, skateboarding, jumping ramps, and the stuff you guys did. Things of that nature that you would just not do, even if someone said, I'll give you $1,000 to do it. What was something you did as a kid or being just younger that even money won't make you do it again? Hugh, you're laughing. You sound like you got something. I know what you're thinking.
No, I used to ski.
Oh, okay. But
I think I could still ski.
Yeah, I think skiing's not. If people ski at a very old age, like they just keep going because, again, you're just going straight down the mountain, right?
Right.
Yeah,
well, it's
it depends on the slope you're going down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there is obstacles that if you decide to go left when you should.
True. Sonny Bono skis Horton and hit some trees. Trying to see.
I still don't know how that could have happened. What, just face planted completely?
That's right.
Went off the trail, just face planted, didn't fall down, didn't try to fall down. It's
straight into he must have had speed though. That's it. Must have lost control and speed.
And he was a frail guy too.
He was a pretty frail fellow.
A little dude.
Yeah. Carlos, what would you not do for $1,000 that you did when you were younger? What is your old limit?
Like when I take my kid to the playground, I remember as a kid, I would like go to the top of the stand. I would jump down. I wouldn't care, but I ain't jumping off no goddamn playground these days. I ain't dumb.
You'll
Back
break
then,
a leg.
I didn't care. No,
you'll break a leg.
Yeah.
Your leg will break.
It's so true.
I mean, I watch parkour videos and stuff, but I ain't doing no tumbling and rolling type stuff. No, I ain't.
We really did jump off the top, and it's got to be. I would say
minimum of 6 feet. Minimum.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That
Let's say like something equivalent to jumping off the top of my house.
I've jumped off the top of houses before, one-story houses. I'm not gonna do that shit again today.
That brings me like to people that like the parkour people that hang off buildings. You're stupid. When you fall, you're dead. There's no chance you'll live.
Unless you're playing the game.
That's true.
You're probably gonna live.
Right. If you go into or the Matrix, if you go into an alternate dimension,
No. There's a dinner party at the bottom of that fall.
No, because if you die in the Matrix, you die.
dead.
Yeah, you actually die. They unplug your ass.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
and if you're in the Matrix, chances are you're not gonna die doing parkour.
That's true too.
Right. You could just load it up. You can learn it as you go.
Reprogram it too.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's just certain things as a child, like would you like that's a good example when you go play at the jungle gym or even things like, well, maybe you'd still do it as a kid. I remember going to an indoor swimming like facility one time and it had Olympic diving like platforms.
I still do that.
And my cousin is like, go off the top one, I'll go with you. And it was like, I don't know, 50 feet up. And I was like, bro, even at my age, at whatever I was, 15, I was like, dude, this is high. This is pretty. We jumped off anyway. But now I'll be like, I'm good. I think I'm good, bro. Like I'm solid. Like, it's all right. I'll go back. I'll swim down here. I'll watch you. Watch you jump. Just things like that. Like, and it's weird because something like that is not gonna, hurt you really. It's just when you're older, you just have that kind of fear of, nah, I'd rather not risk it. I'm okay. Yeah, just
Well, what's funny is that when I played soccer, you hear a lot of guys, they'll complain like if you get a little pushy or whatever, like, oh, we got to work tomorrow. I'm like, that is the worst excuse, man. Like, settle down. We all got to work tomorrow. But excuses like that are pretty weak. I mean, you're not going to get killed playing soccer. Like if I look down a steep set of stairs, I used to go down it like on a bike or on a mountain bike. I might look down a steep set of stairs like, I'm just going to walk down. I'll just carry my bike down.
Is that what you'd say? Or would you say, I got to work tomorrow? And I like your soccer analogy. That just makes me think. Go around and just get a bunch of homeless people, put some jerseys on. Hey,
No, we're not
remember,
playing
you ain't got to
Homeless
work
World Cup.
tomorrow.
Marie's
No,
not.
No, you just pick them up every Tuesday night for the games. Remember, you do not have
You
to work
don't got a
tomorrow.
job.
Do
Get
whatever
rough,
you
man.
want out there.
This is bum fights. Let's go.
Here's a blue card. Stop shitting on the field.
Stop shitting on the field.
Just old shit.
Like the biggest problem in homeless soccer.
Right?
The
Or
vomit.
Hold on.
and the shitty-
it's not even
Hold on
that.
just a second.
Hold on. It's like once you start the game, like 3 of them just
Hey.
lay down and start taking naps. What are you
Where's
guys doing?
Phil?
Is the best
He's
place
over
for
there
them
by
to
the
take a nap.
goalpost shooting up on heroin. Oh, you
Exactly.
son of a bitch.
We got a
Again?
game, Phil.
Hey, at least you're shooting, Phil.
Oh,
It's all about the positives. It's all about the positives.
Yeah.
I tell you. But anyway, so don't get old. I guess that's what we're getting at. Don't get old. It's like those guys that like those Travis Pastrana. Is that how you say his name? The guy that
Yeah.
he does
The
like BMX,
BMX
NASCAR,
and dirt bike. Yeah.
dirt bike, like everything still till this day. And I'm like, you can stop now. It's okay, man.
Yeah, but guys like that have been doing it their whole lives. It's second nature to them. Like Tony Hawk and Steve Caballero and
Oh, it's
Bucky
true.
Lasek.
It's true.
all those guys are in their 40s and 50s and still being able to skate like they were doing it yesterday. That's different because they've been doing it their whole lives. It's second nature.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Because Johnny, when did you stop skateboarding, and when did you think you could start again?
I stopped, I would say, in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And after the Bones Brigade documentary came out.
Oh wow, not that long ago. Yeah,
Yeah, not that long ago. Maybe like
5 years ago. Maybe?
5 years
Yeah.
ago.
It refueled
And
the
now
tank.
it refueled the tank, and I really thought I could do it again. And then now I've got money, so I was just buying board after board and making sure everything was color coded. And I fell one time, right?
It's all it took.
Just
I
once?
Well, I fell a few times, but this time was really stupid. I was riding to my mailbox, so I was just going down my driveway,
Riding
going to the
to my
mailbox, and it's maybe like 100 feet, 100 feet away,
okay.
right? So I was cruising, and then I went to stop, and then something happened, and I fucking twisted my ankle, and I had to call in the sick to work for like 2 weeks. And then
Hey.
they were like, "Hey, I can't make it." They're like, "Oh, okay, no problem. Hey, what happened? I mean, you don't have to tell me." I was like,
I was chasing down a perp.
I was like, "Well, I went to go get my mailbox. I was on my skateboard and I fucking fell." So there.
You should have said something really good, like mail fraud. You should have saw it. He's trying to get the guy.
Auspice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, but then when I moved up here, it's very hilly in my neighborhood, and at the time there were still houses being built, so I was throwing away some trash, and it was like a big furniture piece. So I put it on my skateboard and I wheeled it to the dumpster, threw it away, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna just ride back." And fucking gravity with my big ass just took a hold, and I went from 0 to 90 in like 3 seconds. And I was going so fucking fast that I couldn't stop. So I just jumped off the board, and like the board went like a half mile away. I was like, fuck. I just fucking walked down, and that was like pretty much I pretty much retired that day.
Were you terrified, like the 2 gay fish going down on the bike?
Like the Lucas?
Yeah. Lucas.
The Lucas.
Yeah,
We call
but
them the Lucas.
yeah, but I didn't have a hard on though.
What is it, Luca?
That's the only difference between me and Luca. They had
Luca
like
and Bruno, right?
they had their fucking
Bruno.
they had their fucking
Bruno.
fish dicks out.
Fish dicks in their
Fish
mouth.
stick. Okay, then
So good.
Johnny, you should tell the story about San Francisco and the rollerblading in San Francisco. If I remember the San Francisco story, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You went to San Francisco to rollerblade with a
Mhm.
girl, and you didn't really know how to rollerblade that well. And you were going down one of the steep hills in San Francisco. You couldn't stop, and before you got into cross traffic, you grabbed one of those newspaper boxes and just held on for your dear life.
Well,
Stop
I
yourself.
ran into it. And,
Oh, you ran into it.
Oh yeah, full force. That's how I would stop back then. That's how I'd stop now too. I still can't fucking stop on those things.
You know what? That brings up a good point. I would not roller skate nowadays. If somebody
Rollerblade or
brought me to
roller skate?
Roller
Roller
skate.
skating a little easier than rollerblading.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it. If somebody take me to a rink, I'll
I'd go
pass.
roller skating.
That's a. You said you'd go roller skating. I don't know
sure.
if I'd go roller. Johnny, roller skate. Hugh.
Yeah, I'd go.
Okay.
Ice
Oh, yeah,
skating, I'd still go ice
if
skating too.
If it's the way that it was back in
Yeah,
the day,
in a rink.
Yeah, and then they have like the limbo and then red light, green light.
Yeah. Oh, red light. Green
Yeah.
light. Yeah, that was fun.
Limbo,
no, I'm
I
good.
wouldn't do so good.
Yeah. Oh no. Especially on skates. Oh my god.
If no skates
I
necessary.
was gonna say I probably wouldn't do it with no skates.
Yeah.
My back. I gotta work tomorrow. Oh man. Well, there you go. We're old. Everybody here is at that age now where let's not try to do stuff when we're younger.
All right, let me bring this up though. Is it your age or is it also the shape that you're in? Because if I was in much better shape, I probably would jump off a playground. But in the weight that I'm at right now, gravity's gonna pull me down a little faster. I'm gonna hit that ground a little harder.
The impact would make you 3 inches shorter for sure.
No, seriously. I don't think that's even the issue because see, I think mentally, I think I can still do that stuff, but physically, I know my joints and all that are like, don't do it, bro. Just stay down on the ground where you're safe. Even if I was in the shape I was when I was 18 years old, I'm good. My joints don't age any different if I wasn't lighter or if I was lighter. My knees are already
probably do.
Less
impact.
My knees are pretty much shot as is. So
well, that's
so I can't really, but no. I mean, but you do have a point though. In my mind, I can still go to the gym and play 3 hours of basketball at my top level, but in reality, it's 20 minutes, and I can't. Can we sub? Anybody good? And that is not even top level. I only out of 1 through 10, I hit the 6 mark, and then it came down 5 minutes later to 3, and now I'm just a slow guy running up and down shooting threes. Like, yeah, it's not there anymore. But in my mind, though,
threes from half court because you don't have enough room to get down the rest of the way.
Yeah. And again, though, in my mind, I told myself, I'm gonna ball it up today, and no, and that's just it. I do think mentally, I feel like, I'm still 18. I could do a lot of this stuff. I can go run 5 miles right now. 1 mile in. Uber. So
I get gas taking the trash out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of it's age, that's all. I mean,
when did time my shoes?
Yeah. I mean, I saw I brought up the ramp thing where I used to jump ramps, and I saw a ramp recently in someone's front yard. It was almost like a quarter pipe. It was pretty big. And the first thing I thought was, man, if I was 18 and somebody gave me a BMX, I'd be on that ramp. But if somebody gave me a bike now, I'd punch him in the face.
I think you're too old to punch someone in the face too.
Not too old for that. I'm just too old to run away. That's the problem. Too old to run away. All right. Well,
all right. So you better win if you punch them in the face.
Oh yeah. Win at all costs. So thanks for tuning in to Old Nerds Talking here with Carlos.
Bye-bye.
Johnny.
See ya.
Hugh.
Peace.
Marie.
We did that already.
Cartman. And I'm Lafayette.
You like fish sticks?
Gay fish. Thanks for tuning in. Nerds Talking, the podcast. New episode every Friday. Tell your friends. Remember, 95%. We have a lot of room to grow. See you next time.